Yeah. So as of right now, I guess the best way to put this is over the last year and a half, my goal with this business has been to build a good foundation. Like build a good foundation. I haven't been so focused on the financial aspect of things. It's just more get clients, get results, and then obviously build a damn good foundation so then I can build on top of that financially. As of now, I'm at a point like where I'm selling my offer for about 2,000 USD. For the last year and a half, man, I was selling it for 500. So there was
Yeah, I
very
remember that was too cheap. That was something we talked about as well.
for
It's
sure. So
2000 for how long?
yeah, so essentially the way that I have it structured is
For
it's
how
on like
many
a
days?
six,
Is
yeah,
it
so
90 days?
6 to 12 month program. Kind of depends on your situation. I have a guarantee in place
Is
as
it
well. So let's say
2000? Is it for 6 or is it for 12 months?
I mean, no, ideally, I want it to be for 6. So, like, what I say is, I can get you into this position. I can get you into a remote sales role within 180 days or less. So, usually it's 6 months, but of course, I have a guarantee in place as well. That, let's say, for example, for whatever reason, if you're not in a role within 6 months, I just double down with you, work with you for an additional 6 months.
Oh, okay. I see. That's the guarantee. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So again, at least in terms of like this business, something that I've seen. Like the mentor that I'm working with right now, I'm running ads at like $40 a day US. I'm just not getting. I'm for whatever reason, man. I'm just not getting people on board, and I don't know if it's my closing abilities. I don't know if it's like a matter of converting people. I don't know if it's a matter of like social proof. I'm not really sure. Um,
Mm.
I've spent probably almost 2,000 on ads so far over the last, let's say 2 months. I think I closed one person. So again, I don't know if it's a matter of me. I don't know if it's a matter of my abilities. Like I guess I wanted some more context on that. I know it's probably difficult to judge from like an outside perspective, but I wasn't sure if you wanted to like look into anything. If I could pull up my Instagram, pull
Mm.
up my page, things like that.
Mm. Okay, I'm with you. What's the funnel? We can definitely look at the answer if it's needed as well. But if you just tell me the stats. So what's the funnel? Is it follower ads? Is it VSL ads? What's the
Uh,
where are you
yes.
pushing people to?
Right. So basically, it's through just regular Facebook ads, right? So what they do is they respond with a keyword, and then they're in my DMs. I'm setting them,
Okay.
having a conversation from there, and
What's your call to action? What makes them respond to the keyword? What
um,
are you offering them?
yeah. So at least in terms of the ad, like I'm very specific with it, and I say, this is for a remote high ticket sales mentorship. Again, I would have to pull up the exact ad just to read like exactly what's on it. But again, generally speaking, I'm specifying, look, this is what this is. This is a mentorship. This is not a job opportunity. It's a paid program. It's a one-to-one mentorship. If you're interested, DM me the word remote, right? So I
Okay.
mean, it kind of fluctuates per day, but I get like I've had consistent leads for sure for the last like 2 months. We're
How
getting
much are you
anywhere
paying
between,
per lead per person who replies back?
yeah, per DM. Like I guess again, it fluctuates on a daily basis, but like yesterday was $3.52
No,
per
just
DM.
in
So
total from the $2,000 you've spent.
like cost per acquisition, you mean?
No, just cost per lead from these $2,000 that you've spent so far. How many leads did you
Um,
get in total?
yeah, how many leads have I had so far? A little over 200.
Okay, that's $10 per lead, pretty much.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so like every time you spend $10, you get one person who replies remote.
Right. So like I said, I mean, in terms of me tracking a lot of this, like a lot of this information, this is honestly much newer to me as well. Like in all honesty, man, at least within the last year and a half, I genuinely wasn't tracking anything. And I
It's
think
all
that
right.
was
If we just focus on the last 50, 60 days of you
sure.
spending $40 a day on the ads. How many people have you had in total who have replied back the call to action?
Like I said, at least at this point, a little over 200. It's just the
Okay.
conversations that I'm having aren't necessarily the best. I mean, my call booking percentage is looking like anywhere between about 10 to 20%. So
Of
I mean,
what?
there's like at least in terms of the conversations that I'm having, in terms of how many DMs I get on a daily basis, and in terms of how many calls I'm booking on a daily basis, like my percentage from the conversations that I'm having to somebody actually on a meeting fluctuates, but it's roughly about 10 to 20% of who I actually speak with. The leads that I speak with, 10 to 20% of them will actually book a call.
Okay. So Speak with, do you mean they reply back remote, you reply to them, and then they reply, and that's the
Right.
number you're counting from, or the total number?
Right. So basically just the conversation in general, right? So the total conversation, I count that
Okay,
as
so
one.
yeah, you get 200 leads, you book 20 of them, basically.
Right.
Okay, so out of these 200 people, how many calls have you actually booked? Do you know that?
How many calls have I actually booked? I mean, I don't have.
$2,000 you spent.
Yes, I think it's like roughly about like 24 or so.
Okay.
It's somewhere in like the lower 20s.
Okay. Even if it's 20, that's $100 per booked call. How
Yeah.
have they been qualified? Like before you book them in, do you qualify them?
Yeah, so I have a relatively simplistic qualification process. Like I do do it through my appointment setting in general. I get a good understanding of their like financial position, everything like that. And then I also have them fill out like a questionnaire on my Calendly.
Yeah.
So when they book in, I get enough context, at least financially, and most of them are financially qualified. It just seems for whatever reason, there's a bottleneck somewhere.
Okay. So can you tell me specifically what these qualification questions are?
Yeah, just give me 1 second. Let me pull up, because I have my PC back here too, so I can just pull it up on either or. Yeah, so when I ask pretty basic questions. Let me just pull this up. Today I have 2 calls booked. Which country are you based in? What's your exact Instagram handle so we can contact you? What's your current monthly income? Will you honor the time slot that we've selected? We don't allow rebooks after a no-show. And then you're also directed to I have a post-booking video that I make them watch. It's like 5 minutes. And those are essentially those 5 questions that I ask. At least in terms of that's in terms of Calendly.
Okay. And these 20 something people that you booked a sales call with, did they have an income? And if so, like, do you know what the average one is? Like, do they make more than like $1,000 per month or not?
Yeah, most definitely more than $1,000 per month. I mean, I have people in here who for sure are qualified. It just seems like, as of right now, I have so many people that are like in my pipeline that are actively, I don't know if I want to say considering it, but I think you get my point. Like I have a lot of warm leads in my pipeline that I've already spoken to. It's just a matter of converting those leads.
You mean spoken to on a sales call or in the DMs?
Either on a sales call or in the DMs, or they've been following me for 1.5 years or whatever.
Okay, I'm with you. All right. And what's your show up rate on these 20 something calls? How many actually showed up?
Yeah, honestly, man, my show up rate's like phenomenal. And I'm honestly surprised. It's like 75% overall.
Okay, that's a really good show up rate. Good shit. So, and out of these, so you probably have what is it? You've spoken to 15, 17 people.
Yeah, like I could sit here and count for you. The way that I have my tracking sheet structured, it probably could use some tweaks. But yeah, I think
actually taken, it's probably around 15, I guess.
Roughly around like 20, maybe 25.
Sales calls you've taken.
6. Yeah, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16, 17, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 27 calls. Since June.
Did you get booked calls from somewhere else aside from the ads?
VSL. I have a VSL as well that I just, it's on YouTube. I guess I don't even know if I want to call it a VSL. It's just my content on YouTube. I do have some VSL bookings.
Okay. So this is outside of the ads. This is some other people also booking. Okay.
Right.
Cool. Out of these 27, how many did you close?
Like I said, I think maybe 1, like at this point. So, I mean, let me put it this way, man. I know for a fact I can close because I've closed before on many different offers. Like I know how to close. I just don't know exactly what my problem is. I think in a lot of ways, man, I've approached sales in a different way. I think I've tried to separate myself so much from the masses in the sense that there's so many other people like me that are doing the exact same fucking thing. So I've said, how do I make myself a little bit different? And I try very hard not to pressure leads into sales. Like I try, like, you know what I mean? I want to make sure that if I'm going to work with somebody, I want to actually work with them, because the way that I structure my business, I work with you one-on-one. So, excuse me, it's very heavily one-on-one. It's on an as-needed basis. So if that means we run 3 calls a week, that means we run 3 calls a week, right? With that being said, I don't want to work with somebody who's a pain in the ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and with that being said, like I'm somewhat particular with it as well. So I approach it from a very like non-confrontational kind of like, look, if you want to get into this.
And out of these 27 calls that you had, how many were actually like qualified, good people that you wanted to work with and you know that they had a job, you know?
Right. I would say probably 75% of them, at least in terms of the calls that I took. So a good amount of them for sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So can you optimize your ads and potentially lower your cost per lead? Absolutely. Could you maybe, run more creatives to do so? Absolutely. You could definitely do that. Maybe you would take your cost per lead from $10 to $8 or $7.
Right.
But that's not your highest leverage opportunity right here. Your show up rate is great. Your booking rate is great. People who are DMing you are actually booking sales calls. They're showing up and, well, you're talking to them. You could say that maybe the sales framework is like, obviously this closing is the biggest bottleneck here. That's where we're losing most people. Speaking to 27 people, let's say 7 of them are not qualified, 20 of them, you should be able to close, 3, 4, 5 people on average. That would be a decent number. Before I say, okay, it's strictly your sales skill on like closing them, we can talk about your offer and also the second most important thing, and it's social proof. How much social proof are they consuming before or during the sales call?
Yeah, honestly, man,
like case studies, someone else you've transformed their life, going from point A to point B. Are you showing them those things before the sales call in some way, either in the DMs or in that 5-minute video you talked about, or any other way, emails, text messages?
Right. So in the 5-minute video that I have, it does showcase some like student results for sure. I also, a lot of the time, the day before the call, what I do is send over, I have I have a couple interviews on my YouTube channel with students that I've ultimately helped get into the space. And I have one student named James who, he pulled like $4,000 in commissions in his first month appointment setting. So because of that, I push that quite a lot. I show people that. And then additionally, just in my highlights on my Instagram, I have 3 full highlights from the last year and a half of coaching students, and that's full of student results as well. So I always highly encourage people to like go towards those. I highly encourage them to check out, my highlights. I encourage them to check out my YouTube channel. I encourage them to, go through all of that material for sure. I mean, honestly, man, I think I have more than enough social proof because like even on, like obviously on my brand, like on my personal brand, like I have, lots of trips that I've gone on and student results. And I have 2 of my student interviews like pinned on my Instagram, so people can see it for sure.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Perfect. Because some people, they do have social proof, they just never tell people to watch them before a sales call, for example. Okay, cool. Do you tell any case studies in your pitch, in your actual sales call? When you pitch, you can say, okay, so the first thing we're going to do is this, this, and this. That's exactly what we did for Johnny, who also went from A to B. Do you do anything in that sense? Anything similar?
In terms of the sales call, not necessarily, unless like somebody's curious about it. So for example, I pitch them on everything. I help them, gain an understanding of it all. I pitch them on my offer. I take them through all the information, everything like that. But normally, let's say when I get after price drop, I like if they want to see more social proof, then yeah, I'm absolutely more than willing to show them some. But I don't like go out of my way to, if that makes sense.
All right, cool. Okay. And in your pitch, if you could just tell me your pitch in like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, what's your actual pitch? What's your offer? What do you tell them?
Yeah. So I'll just pull up this document really fast just so I can like read it to you properly. I said, we will help you transition from your current situation into a remote sales career with clarity, structure, and in-depth support in 180 days or less, or your money back.
Okay. And it's $2,000.
Yes.
And you work with me one-on-one.
Yes.
Okay. That's a really good offer. And you have social proof. So they should be able to trust you to be able to give you the money and be like, okay, he sounds legit.
Sure.
And they have the money. If they don't have 2,000, maybe you could probably, do you offer split pays?
I do. So as of right now, like in all honesty, man, I'm in need of revenue to just basically pour into ads. Like I don't know if I've explained the situation to you. I may have, but I have kind of a unique situation financially. I just can't,
Yeah, I know.
That's, I guess,
It takes time
it's just
to
super,
take out the
it's
money
tied
and
up.
stuff.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can't access that to put it into ads. So I need the revenue now to reinvest, right? So
I'm
I
with you.
have two different types of payment plans. So obviously you have the full 2,000. That's obviously what I'm going for. But then you have the two payments of $1,000 to split that up over the span of 30 days. And then I even go as far as 4 payments of 500. We just do that over the span of like 2 to 4 months.
Okay. Okay. And have you pitched all those options to your people in these sales calls?
Yeah. And from what it seems like, it's just, again, I don't know if it's the fact that maybe I'm not diving
Alright.
deep enough or objection
Yeah,
handling,
okay.
but
So
many of them
this
can't even
to me
afford the 500.
sounds like a sales structure, like a sales call structure issue.